Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews, and today we have a really cool brand new Schleich set to take a look at. This is a 2021 release from Schleich, sporting a brand new Pterosaur as well as a man that appears to be on kind of a jetpack right there. And I was really excited about this because I really wanted to see this, and there's another Pterosaur model that they've recently released, I believe might be a Tupuxuara, and this one, as we can see here, is a Tupuxuara, or at least I'm pretty certain because the box art actually doesn't say it here, but I was really excited to check out the two newest Pterosaurs from Schleich. They did not get individual releases. They're only in these packs that you see here. Well, one of the two packs. I will have the other pack up here on the channel very soon for review. But as far as the box art, you can see again the image of the Tupuxuara, who seems to be carrying away the guy on the jetpack here, potentially. And then here on the top, we have pretty much the same image, as well as, again, dinosaurs with the Schleich Tyrannosaurus Rex right there, as well as the Schleich logo over here. And then on the back, you can see basically what is included with this set, and also some images of some other sets here from Schleich that I would actually like to get a hold of. We have a really cool kind of like almost a compound with a Brachiosaurus and stuff, and then there's also an ATV set with a green Velociraptor. So some pretty interesting sets that are also still out there from Schleich that I have not actually had an opportunity to review or add into my collection, but I'm really psyched to take a look at this one, so let's pop it out of the box and do just that. So once we open everything up, we've got some fun stuff here included. You can see kind of like a booklet here that shows you some of the stuff you can do here with your human figure as well as the Tupuxuara, and then a checklist up here basically of what is included. There's also, again, more assembly instructions for the set and basically how everything works. You got all kinds of fun stuff included in here. And on top of that, we actually have some stickers that I would, they're upside down, that I would imagine would go on this once I get this opened. And then we also have a little Schleich booklet here, which I'm sure, yes, is probably going to show us quite a few of the other Schleich products that they have out to offer currently. There's just a ton of stuff in here. I'm actually a big fan of their fantasy, like, creature figures and stuff. They have a lot of really, really cool creatures like dragons and stuff like that, and it's one of the few lines that I've never really been able to acquire a lot of figures from, and it's actually quite sad that I haven't, because again, so many cool figures that Schleich releases as far as these like mythical creatures and stuff. I really love that stuff. Eventually I've got to get a hold of some of those. But then here on the back, well, this thing's pretty big. In the back, we've got, again, all kinds of stuff as far as like different animals. We've got some wildlife here. Basically, these are like farm animals back here. Then we've got like wildlife as we move through, and then we get to the area, which of course would be our favorite here, which is the dinosaurs. And there's definitely a lot of stuff on here that we have actually reviewed here on the channel over time. Some stuff that you can see before you will actually be coming up for review soon, but then you can also see some of these other really cool sets, and I feel like the sets are often overlooked as far as these Schleich sets go. You can see one here with a T-Rex and a Stegosaurus, a baby Stegosaurus. You've got the ATV Velociraptor set that I was actually talking about there on the front. You also have kind of like a trainer and a young Giganotosaurus, or a baby Giganotosaurus. I'm not too sure what exactly it's meant to be. And then you've also got that kind of compound area, as well as tons of other dinosaurs again included. So awesome, awesome, awesome. And then we've got all of the stuff that basically you saw that is included in this set, as well as our Pterosaur, and it's all in bags currently, so I'm going to break everything out of the bags, get it put together, and then we'll take a look at it from there. So we've got everything ready, we've got it all put together. Here is our human character, and before I even go any further, I just want to state that this is probably one of the most stable human figures I have ever seen ever. It is just ridiculously stable. Like you could see, I'm like smacking him around and he stays up. Of course, if I whack him pretty good, he's going to fall. But I mean, as far as a human figure goes, this one has excellent balance. We also have the Jetpack, which now has all of the stickers and everything on it, as well as it is put together. We also have his weapon of choice, which is kind of like a little lasso he uses to capture dinosaurs or potentially pterosaurs. And then, of course, the Pterosaur itself, which does come with a little plastic stand to stop it from warping in transit, which we will, of course, take off in just a moment. But honestly, looking at everything here at first glance put together, it's actually a really cool set, and I'm very impressed with the Pterosaur. It's beautifully done, really nice detailing throughout, which is something that is not a surprise coming from a Schleich figure. They usually give you like very highly detailed figures. I'm sometimes just blown away by how much detail they include in their figures. So the Tupuxuara is really nicely detailed, and then of course the human figure and the jetpack and weapon are also really quite nicely done here at first glance. So let's jump straight to a closer look right now. So of course we will start with the star of the set, which would be the Pterosaur, and you can see that as far as the sculpting here in the head goes, it is really, really beautifully done. Like, there is some fantastic looking skin texture throughout the head sculpt of this Pterosaur. The eye is painted with nothing but a pure black, which I think actually looks really good on the figure. There's a nice gloss coat over top of that eye so that it shines like a real eye would, and it just generally looks very alive. I love the fact that the Pterosaur has a pure black eye, very realistic and lifelike if you ask me. The coloration as well is really nicely done on the Pterosaur. You can see again that the nostrils are sculpted out right there. But I like that it has a very nice dark brown as well as a dark wash that has been applied, and that's one thing I really love about most of the Schleich products, and that's the fact that they usually include a dark wash on the figures, which I feel like makes all of the detail pop in a very realistic way and just generally makes the figures look so much more lifelike. But you can see that we have like a yellowish coloration here at the tip of the beak, as well as a little yellow here on the underside of the lower jaw, and you can kind of see like a little bit of hanging skin here in the throat region, well, coming from the beak leading back into the throat region of our Pterosaur. Leading back here into the crest, you could see kind of like some tones of yellows and oranges included, which looks really, really nice, again giving the Pterosaur a little hint of flashiness, but in my opinion in a very natural way. Again, the detail there in the eye looks great as well. The actual texturing to this Pterosaur is phenomenally well done. Leading back into the neck region of our Pterosaur, it seems to have like some pycnofibers that pick up, and you can see those really nicely. There's also like some kind of ridges that run along the spinal column of the Pterosaur, and then if you take a look at it from up above, you can really pick out those pycnofibers that I was talking about. It definitely looks really cool, and you can also just generally see the structure of the Pterosaur quite nicely throughout the sculpt of the figure. Very muscular looking build for our Pterosaur, and you can see again the really nice darker shades of brown throughout, as well as that nice dark wash. You can see some muscle definition as you move out here in through the arm, out into the wing. The hands look really quite nice. You kind of have like some scoots down the course of the fingers. Same deal for both sides of our Pterosaur. And when you actually come out here into the skin of the wings, it looks fantastic. You can see so much beautiful scale detail, as well as like some really nicely defined areas of the dark wash, really picking up on all of the cracks and crevices included within the wing detail. And you can see how we have that nice dark brown, but there's a really smooth transition to that yellow here in the lower part of the wings. You can see the same deal over here. It just looks absolutely beautiful. As you lead down here into the foot sculpt, again, the foot sculpt looks quite nice. You can see how nice that dark wash has made all of that detail pop in the feet as well. And then if we take a look here at the underside of the Pterosaur, it looks very, very much so reminiscent to what we had seen on the upper side of the Pterosaur. You can kind of pick up on like some musculature here in the chest, as well as sort of like the detailing there of the ribs of the Pterosaur. Legs look really nice down here as well. And then of course the underside of the wings looks fantastic as far as the detailing. Looks pretty much just like what we had seen on the upper side. Same style coloration and everything. So I'm really psyched that they have included a Tupuxuara into their line. I don't believe Schleich has released one prior to this, and this is definitely a very nice looking version of one. And then of course we have our Jetpack, which also looks really cool, and the entire set obviously has a very Jurassic Park kind of a feel to it, with the humans interacting with prehistoric creatures. And once you actually apply all of the kind of like sticker decals that we have here, that looks really cool, gives a lot of detail throughout the entire model. You can see that we have a dino team down here, and then there's these two little areas that you kind of slide in when you are actually putting the model together, and you can see that it kind of insinuates that fire type of a look coming out of the engine for the Jetpack, which is also really neat. Here on the underside, we also have more of those areas where we've applied like those decals, and there was actually this one as well, and I just put that one right there. I don't know actually where that one was supposed to go, so I just just threw it there for the heck of it. We have a nice Triceratops head silhouette right there, as well as Dino Team, and then again the area where we would connect our human figure to the jetpack, and then of course our weapon, and that also looks really quite cool. If we can go ahead and get focused on that, you can see a really nice silver coloration to that. And then of course this is a yellow coloration, and one interesting aspect is it's actually kind of articulated, so you can pull this to tighten it so that you can really lasso whatever, prehistoric animal, whether it be this pterosaur or whether it's a different Schleich dinosaur, whatever you would like, you can kind of lasso it with that as well. And then our human figure has this helmet on top of his head, which is pretty nicely done. And then you can take that off, and you can see that he also looks really quite cool. I love that he even has kind of like a 5 o'clock shadow going on. And you can see he's got some nice blue eyes. The eyebrows are applied there. The hair is nicely sculpted and painted. In general, his outfit sports some really nice detailing throughout, as well as some decent coloration. There's not too much paint application to him, but what is applied is pretty much what you would expect. And he looks really good pretty much from every angle. You can see the Triceratops head silhouette yet again up here on his shirt, on the side of his shirt, showing you that obviously he is part of the group and deserves to have this jetpack. And as far as articulation goes on him, you have articulation in the arms as well as the legs. The legs do move together. You can see them moving together. There's no other articulation that I know of. Nothing in the hip or anything like that, or the waist. So decent articulation, but nothing over the top. But definitely a fun human figure to include in this set overall. And then to apply our human figure to the jetpack, all you basically have to do is just slide him into place. And now he's got the jetpack on, and the overall human with the jetpack thing has already been complete, and it's looking really cool. A very fun playability factor to this set, that is for sure, and that's something that is really cool. Actually, I forgot to put his helmet on, but it's really cool about these sets because most times you kind of just get like dinosaurs with the Schleich line. And I like that these smaller sets that are kind of almost lesser known sets from Schleich include, some playability to them with human figures interacting with dinosaurs. If you're not a fan of that style of humans interacting with dinosaurs, having that kind of Jurassic Park type feel, which I'm trying to get this weapon on his arm here, you probably won't be a big fan of that aspect of the models, but at the same time, you have some really cool prehistoric figures that you get with them, so that is always a plus. I think the Pterosaur included in this is actually really beautiful. So as far as a size goes, for our jetpack, actually, if we turn him around, I think at this point would probably be the best way to measure this. You are looking at about the 4 3/4 inch range, or about 12 centimeters in length. And then if we stand our human figure up here and just measure him, he's about 4 inches or 10 centimeters. And then for a wingspan on our Tupuxuara, you are looking at about 6 inches or around the 15, maybe actually about 15.5 centimeter range. And then for a height, if we have it kind of standing up, actually the beak would probably be the highest point. You're looking at just shy of 3 inches or about 7.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, here is the Mattel Attack Pack Colovosaurus Robert Muldoon and the Schleich Tyrannosaurus Rex next to our Schleich Pterosaur and man with his jetpack set here. And you can definitely see that even the human character here matches nicely to the same size range as the Mattel figures, and that's really cool for sure. So he's right there in that 3 3/4 inch range. And then, of course, we have the Tyrannosaurus over here, which is probably one of the more popular Schleich figures, helping to show you that the Pterosaur, although, not super small, is definitely on the smaller side when it comes to a Schleich figure, although the Rex actually is a pretty sizable Schleich figure, so it's, again, a little bit of a difference of size between those two, but hopefully this comparison will help to show you the size of the set overall. So this Schleich Pterosaur and Jetpack set is definitely really fun. I'm definitely a big fan of these, lesser talked about sets from Schleich, and I was really psyched to see that they were releasing 2 brand new Pterosaur sculpts this year with this and the Tapijara release that I will be reviewing here on the channel very soon. And I must say I'm super happy with the Tupuxuara here. I love the sculpt. I think it is really nicely done from a detailing standpoint, which again is something Schleich is pretty well known for. They usually give you just tons and tons of really nice detail on their figures. No matter what figure it is, you usually get a very highly detailed sculpt, and that is exactly what you find on the Tupuxuara here. It is beautifully detailed as far as the minute detailing, as well as the overall appearance to the Pterosaur. The paint application also is really well done, with some very nice naturalistic tones of color, I would say. Definitely looks nice and natural on the Pterosaur overall, and I love the little hint of flashiness up there in the crest, definitely making the Pterosaur look even a little bit more lifelike, because of course we would expect some flashiness in the crest of a Pterosaur, and they have applied that, but they haven't over applied it. Like, they haven't given it too flashy of an appearance. Like, it really looks nice and natural for the Pterosaur. And then of course everything is brought together with a nice dark wash, which I love the addition of a dark wash on a Schleich figure. One of my most favorite parts of Schleich figures is the fact that they usually include nice dark washes, and I think it always looks great on the figures and really makes each and every scale on the Pterosaur pop beautifully. And then the very nicely painted eye as well is something I'm a huge fan of on this Pterosaur. And then you have our human figure here with the Jetpack, which I as well definitely enjoy, being a gigantic fan of Jurassic Park and all of the other plethora of movies and TV shows that have existed of humans interacting with dinosaurs, even though it's obviously not something that has ever actually happened. I love the idea of it, and I love the usage of it here in this set from Schleich. I think that they've done a good job on the actual human figure. The Jetpack also looks quite beautiful, and I actually think it's pretty fun that you have to apply the stickers and everything to the Jetpack, just adding another little element of fun to the set overall. So this is definitely a really fun release from Schleich, and something that I can say for sure I recommend picking up. So if you are interested in this set, I will include a link in the description to the Schleich website where you can purchase this, and that is exactly where mine has come from. So make sure you check the link in the description, go buy this really cool set, and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.